Okay, so let me start it again, Rabbi. Let's see, we have almost no time. Let's see, I have 9 minutes. I can do it in 9 minutes. Back to Matzino. The Matzino Shabir Bezech the Hindech benoided the Osis Havaya Romzos the Chamisha Partzufim Yod the Chochma Hey the Bina Vav the Zah Hey the Achrona the Malchus V'Chakesa B'Remes B'Kuz Shayot. Now in the Acharayim he says the Akya, it's the Acharayim of Akya, it's Revuah Oven a Chalukah the Sefira Suba Oven Zeh. Aleph will go to Keser, Aleph K will go to Chochma and Bina. Aleph K Yud refer to Chagat, and Aleph K Yud K would refer to him. B'vanach of the Shalav Shem Havaya im Acharayim the Akya. So let's put them together. Yesh the Shalav called Oz Ba'oz Shegenegda the Ficha Sefira. So when you talk about Havaya, when you talk about Akya, there is to be combo there. L'chein Achar Oz Aleph the Akya. So therefore, what it should be is after those Aleph the Akya, Harumez the Keser, E Asher the Shalav es Oz Yud the Havaya, because Mekay Mekhaven, because Shehayud Halo Rumez the Chochma V'Rak Kotzer removes the Bechinas of Keser. So you can't just put a little dot there. He said because V'Chashikaven es a Kotzer Yud B'Machshava. So those who say, well, I'm not sure exactly what the difference between this is in the Kavanah of the Shiluv. I don't know what's really different. But you just have it in mind, which I think you have that mind when you're doing the Shiluv too, but it's not written. I guess that's what he means. Rak ba'osius and bogus acharechem sheim aleph kei sheim bebichidus chachber bebina. Behem, with them, he says you can have a Shiluv, Meshulavim, osius yud kei the Havaya shekeneged the chachber the bina. Okay, that's a problem. He says, Oz yesh the ayin ma'adura ba'oz vav the Havaya the ma'ach chasara. So let's look over here again. And normally when we're spelling the vav, at least it should be spelled vav aleph vav. But if you look at this, it says vav, and then it starts into the revuah aleph, and then this inserted yud in the aleph k, and you don't have another aleph for the vav. So he says, so it's not going to be spelled vav vav. That's what he says. Od yesh the ayin madua. Well, let me get back over here. We go. Okay, od yesh the ayin madua va'oz vav the Havaya the ma'achasera. Why is it missing? As milui ha'ala shabah. Shesidra kan lahamshik as a Havaya va'acharayim the Akya b'sel vav. So he says we're trying to put it that aleph into the vav. That's the whole idea. The aleph below, but it doesn't. It just has a vav vav. It doesn't have a vav aleph vav, and that's supposed to be the place where the Akya in Revuah takes place. V'gam kam yesh kasav shutos. So then the people write, well, there you go. It's a mistake. The sidrachas milui ha'aleph. So then they order the milui of the aleph. V'acherim kos v'chushuchum mishemesh the shnechem hey the milui ha'aleph. Whether it's talking works for both, whether it's for the milui the aleph. The Akya, or it's the Acharayim the Akya. So you have one aleph there that works for both. That's one idea about this. Bir Bezeh, so he explains on this like this. Al-Pi Masha Sheyizboyer Hakavanot, like we explained over in the Hakavanot. He said the Milui Alafim, the Havaya the Ma, so the Milui of the Lafim, the Mayavava. Now this, I'm not sure that I understand this exactly, that the milui, there are three alafims, through olives, in the milui of ma. Call aleph remezes the acharayim the Akya, and each one of them represents the acharayim the Akya. Now, I don't know why you need all of them, but they all three do. So anyway, he said, and they are the Indian of these chasadim and the gevuras the ima. And also their clothing, which is that revuah, mispashtim b'zer anpin hachioso that spread into zer anpin to bring life into zer anpin b'so dam ha'adam, which is the dam of the word adam. Let's say, not sure exactly how this all goes together, but that's what it is. His bar sham. So to explain this a little bit more, he says, explain the b'shas hagalos kashinesnakal lachug b'zer anpin. So there we see that now he says the chug, the chasadim and the gevuros leave. They're bottled up in the neck. That's a principle here of Paro and Pesach. The stalkola ala de milucher vav. So what happens is that the vav, it leaves. So when you're looking at it like this, I guess he's saying that the vav is really not prominent in here anymore because it left. Because of that reason, it's not in the Chag Zeir Anpin anymore. V'shem ma nechsoch v'na'as adam, and as a result of that, that's why the Adam, which has the Aleph in it, is now going to become Dam. Yud K Vav, and this is the gematria of Dam. Yud K Vav K Aleph. So he's a Vav Vav K Aleph. Yud Vav Dal K Aleph Vav Vav K Aleph. But now that we've reached a point where we're out of Galus, the Hamshik HaChug v'Levusheichem, so that what we're going to do here is we're going to stream down the Chug, along with the Levushim, they're going to come in, the Hamshik es Achraim the Akya, the Zeir Anpin, is what they're trying to say, is that you're going to bring this back into Zeir Anpin, which goes along with this concept of the Aleph. Now, when he said that each one of the Alephim represents the Revuah of Akya, I'm missing why you need three of them, but he says that each one of them represents that, as he said. So that he says the Acharayim themselves, the fact that they're coming in, you don't need another Aleph. That's what it sounds like to me. He says Atzman ha'aleph de milu evav v'alkein k'shemamshichim es acharayim de akis. So therefore, when you actually start putting the acharayim back in there, ein beguvanim es os aleph. We don't have a guvana just on los aleph. Kemin she'acharayim and nimshachim ato heim atzman os aleph. They are themselves the os aleph. So therefore, you don't need the aleph. These are some of the thoughts about this. So I thought we would be good to look over. I guess I don't know where we look first. Excuse me. And we'll go to the next page and we'll read the Kuf Gimel. And in the time that we have, which isn't much, we'll read this and then we'll go over to Kuf Gimel on the other side if we can get to that. So he says Lahamshech Chesed Revi. So we want to talk about this one because before we had the concept of the Chach and the Chagat and the Bagad the Chagat and the Dati the Chagat. Now we're going into Nai. So he said, Lahamshech Chesed Revi v'Levusho, Mechachan the Nai, from the Chesed, or the right side of the Nai, the Chagat the Nahi, the parts of that concludes the lower two Partsufim, or two sections, which are Partsufim, I guess, also, which of the Chagat and the Nai, lower two, Dema, which means the right side, and they are the Chesadim that are coming in, which is the Acharayim, the Yisod Ima. So what's the idea there? Lahavliya bevav Dema, in order to make it swallowed up and to be absorbed into the vav of Ma. The Chachan Denai, the Partsufi Chagat Benai, once again, and he repeats this idea. Where's it going to go? It's going to go into the Chachan Denai, the Partsufi Chagat Benai, Dema, the Acharayim, the Zon. And we have, Baruch Hashem, at least a little bit of a explanation there. We have some idea of how that language works. So just looking at the light print, we could get maybe 1 minute out of this, or 1 minute out of this. Firas and Netzach, he said, Laham Shechesed Revi, which is Netzach. The Chagat Benai, Perikim Soya, Perik Tachna the Netzach. So he explains it again. The Ma. What does the Ma? The Ma means the Chesadim, the Mispashne B'Kav Yomim. Now that's the translation of what he means by Ma de Ben, Ma de Ma. And when he goes to Ma de Ben, we have to see what those are too. So he said, the Acharayim, the Yisod, the Ima, where's it coming from? B'chachan Denai, Sfiris and Netzach, the Partsufi Chagat V'nai, B'Perikim Soy, B'Perik Tachton, the Ma, the Acharayim, the Zun, and it's going to be the Ma, which is once again the Chesed going down the line of Chesed. That's coming from this Revuah, or this Achar, excuse me, not the Revuah, but it is probably the Revuah, is the Revush, which is coming out of the Acharayim, the Zun. And we're going to stop right there, and that's it for this right now.